Hello dosto, how are you all? So I am back from my, I won't say it's annual, but it's the my regular trips to Arunachaleshwara. So Arunachaleshwara temple is one temple that I visit regularly. This year, I think this was my fifth or fifth visit. Okay, three, four, yeah, fifth visit, and maybe by the end of the year, like which is like in a few days now, I may once again do it. I go there regularly. I do my Girivallam regularly. Girivallam is basically uh, circumambulating the entire mountain. So Arunachaleshwara is a mountain that is considered and that is believed, and it is a shivling. And I actually wanted to see the Deepam. All these years, I've been traveling to Arunachaleshwara, which is in Thiruvannamalai, uh, some about 2.5 to 3 hours drive from Chennai, and I have been going there since 2015. From the time that I started, from the year that I started, a lot of transformations have happened in my life. I consider Arunachaleshwara, the mountain, as the fulcrum of my very own being. So it's like this pivot around which my life rotates. I wish I can actually imbibe whatever I'm saying, because it's easy to say and it's nice and ornamental. But the experiences that I have had in this place, the experiences that I have got after I have come back from this place are amazing. I'm not saying those are like miraculous experiences or anything of that sort, but they are tangible experiences which has happened in my material as well as my spiritual life. Whether to get a sthiti, whether to get clarity of thoughts, whether to have abundance of knowledge, whether to start something afresh, all of that. Okay, so all these triggers and motivations I have received once I have done my Girivallam, or when I am doing my Girivallam, or more and more Girivallams for me. So, in fact, my Diksha in the South Indian tradition of Shaivachar also has happened, and I completely believe is because of Lord Arunachaleshwara. So I'm very, very thankful to the God over there. Amongst the Pancha Mahabhuta Lingams, this is the Agni Lingam. And I recommend that, with full responsibility, that any person who is a regular practitioner of homas, or who is indulging into fire rituals as a regular spiritual practice, should definitely go to this place. It should be like your checklist to do. Okay, this is the Agni Lingam, and you will get a lot of information about Arunachaleshwara through this Thala Purana and all that, and I don't want to get into that. There are many, many videos of that in the public domain. You can take a look. If you think that I should do a separate video on that, I can do that, which I can do that later. But as I said to you, I recommend this as one of the checklists or to-dos in any fire ritual practitioner's life. Okay, so they should do this, because this is where Shiva in the form of Rudragni appeared to the entire creation, to the entire humanity, to the entire universe. Okay, so this is where it is, where it all began, I should say. My general trip is like this. I go to Kalikambal temple, which is in Chennai. So first I land in Chennai, I go there, worship to Mata over there, and then from there we travel to Arunachaleshwara, which is in Thiruvannamalai. So this is what it is. And there are many people who do Girivallam. This time I went. I especially wanted to go to Arunachaleshwara during the Karthik Deepam month. So during the Karthik Deepam month, the top of the mountain, people go there and they light a huge lamp. Okay, so it's like a cauldron in which there is ghee mixed, cotton and such, and the lamp is lit. So from afar you can see the mountaintop lit. So it's an amazing experience, and every evening they used to light it at 6 o'clock. But this time there was a lot of rains, lot of storm, and on the 4th itself, Chennai and its surrounding places, its neighboring places were hit by the cyclone Michong, and there was the skies in Thiruvannamalai in Chennai was, as it is, also full of dark clouds. There was storm. There was a foggy atmosphere. It was cold and drizzling, and all of that was happening. So the fire at the top of the mountain probably is very windy, etc. So along with the wind, there used to be gusts of cloud which used to come, and because of which the fire may get subdued. But we've seen, when we did our Girivallam, or when in the nights also, the fire can be seen from the top. So at 6 o'clock in the evening, regularly every day, the fire gets lit. So it started from 26th of November, and it has got ended as of yesterday, that is 6th of December. So the fire was lit for this 11 days. And of course, it's like a huge fair. It's a festival. There were lakhs and lakhs of crowd which was over there. It was extremely difficult for us to get the darshan of the Lord, but we somehow managed, and it was great. So all of this apart, one of the beautiful things and every time I must tell you that whenever I go to Arunachaleshwara, there is some or the other lessons that we learn during the Girivallam period, or during the circumambulation. At least I have encountered such things. This time, so my encounter with a few Siddhars also has happened during my circumambulation of Arunachaleshwara, or whenever I have stayed back in Thiruvannamalai. So Siddhars are those people who are these ecstatic saints who have left everything, and they are in the, not even I would say service, but in contemplation of the Lord. Okay, so I have seen various Siddhars over there. I've had the great opportunity of meeting a few over there. I have not been able to sit and communicate with them, but their presence itself, kind of changes and transforms your life. So one of them whom I want to discuss today, or I want to talk to you all about, is Topi Amma. So Topi Amma has become very, very famous of late, all over the years now. My first encounter with her was in the year, my second Arunachaleshwara visit. So probably 2016, I would say 2016 or 17 is when I met or had the opportunity to see her. Okay, so I must say one thing. I am a cleanliness freak. Okay, so to the extent of OCD. So I was waiting with my friend while during the Girivallam at a place where we could eat something, so grab a bite kind of thing. And here we saw a gentleman coming on a bike. He seemed to be pretty affluent, and on the bike there was this lady behind him who was absolutely in tatters, very unkempt, and he stopped at the same food stall that we were waiting, and he actually fed her with his hands. She was completely there were flies around her, so uh, she was very dirty, and all of that. And she had, like, I still vividly remember the caked soil under her, caked dirt under her nails and all of that. And he was uh, very reverentially, very lovingly, very kindly was feeding her with his own hands. That was the first time when I saw Topi Amma, and at that point of time, I did not know who she was. For me, it was a shock, because I have not seen a person, like, I had not seen a person like her, very, very, unkempt, and in a very, in a condition that, normally you would, kind of abhor. So this gentleman was feeding her with his hands. And to me, that was an experience which shook me to the core. And she was not even looking at him, which means that she was looking at him, but her eyes were distant. She was not communicating. There was no communication between him and her. He washed her face, he washed her hand. She only did one gesture, is that she took a little bit of food from her and she fed him, uh, without even looking at him. That was probably his ashirvadam that he received. He was wearing a gold watch. I remember his gold iPhone, and all of that. While I remember all of this, I remember her. I remembered her. And I was not aware who she was, and I didn't know that she was a Siddhar, and that she, like, every day she circumambulates the mountain. At any point of time, you may have the good fortune to see her. And later on, I realized who she was. But even before I realized who she was, my core fear for dirt and unclean, and that which should be abhorred, when I came back, returned from that particular Girivallam, went away. Today, I look at it as dispatch. It's not that I like to live in dirt or unkempt, but that is not a priority for me. And this change happened just by her presence. Your And that was something which, when it happened, I realized who, she must have been a great soul. Later on, I came to know that she was a great soul. This time, so in my third, fourth, fifth visits, etc., I have had the good fortune to meet her. I have had the good fortune of being with people who have, sat close to her. I have seen her doing Girivallams. This time around, and most of the times in the night, because I generally like to do the night Girivallams. So I have seen her in the dead of night at, say, 2 o'clock in the morning, or at, like, 12 o'clock midnight. She is walking, and she walks pretty fast. By the time you finish, like, 1 kilometer, she is already, like, 3-4 kilometers away. And she's called Topi Amman because she sometimes wears a cap. She carries a cap in her hand or whatever. She wears this nice. She's this, like thin, frail lady, very beautiful, and she wears a skirt, which is in rags, and she is amazing. Okay, so this time around, I got the good fortune of meeting her at the Girivallam path again. This time, of course, we did the Girivallam. We started at 4:30 in the morning, and we completed the Girivallam by 8:39, and somewhere around 7 o'clock, while all the stalls were open, etc., and we were taking a break, I saw her. As soon as I saw her, I had my friends with me who have, there are many people who are newly also joining me for the Girivallam. It is Lord Arunachaleshwara's kripa that I am able to bring more and more people towards the Lord. So I was waiting there, and with me, my friends who are regular visitors to Arunachaleshwara, and some not so regular visitors to Arunachaleshwara, were all there. And she walks. What a grace, what leadership, what commanding presence. And this time, there were like 10-15 people behind her. It was like a troop that she was kind of leading. And she was walking absolutely oblivious about her surroundings. And she must have had food in her mouth as it was spilling over and completely caking the front part of her garment. Okay, and she was completely oblivious even to that. And she was walking with rhythm. She was walking in a commanding pace, and there were like 10-15 people who were around her, and they were trying to match her pace, and there were some few people who were running after her. I bowed down deeply to her, and thanked her uh, for her presence, for her darshan. And I hope I am able to decipher what I got with that darshan of hers. One thing is that the lesson that I learned, but is that, and this is not just her. I mean, one aspect is of course her, and then there is my friend Srini over there, whom I have been associated with for some time, and he has now made Arunachaleshwara Thiruvannamalai his abode. When he started, he was like us, going there, doing his Girivallam, trying to find his rhythm in spiritual practices and all of that. And today he's so deep rooted in spirituality, and he has Nityagni as his ashram over there, where over 700 to 1,000 people, sadhus, are fed. Even people. I mean, I have seen even professionals coming there and having food in the afternoons over there. So it starts at 11 o'clock and gets over by 2:33, I guess. And there are many volunteers working for him, and every day he does annadanam over there. The day he so Topi Amman, who is probably far-fetched for us to kind of think of, who has given up everything in the contemplation of the Lord, or Srini, who is a little closer to us in terms of our a person who is like us, who is professional and who has had a career, has got family and all of that. Probably the day they decided that they will leave it all for the Lord, the entire universe connived to support them. This has happened with Topi Amman, who is far-fetched. It has happened with Srini, who is making milestones of journey ahead of us. So I guess this is the lesson to learn, that when you leave it to the universe will take care of you. This is something, this fear that I have, at least personally. Someday, and slowly I'm inching towards breaking it, this fear. And the day I am able to break it, it'll be fun. Om Namah Shivaya.